it.
See, I don't like the taste of dandelion or arugula.
I pretty much would not
you have to get
dandelion.
it fresh. You have to get it early because after a while it starts to putrefy on the vine.
Yeah, it has a distinct flavor that reminds me of something, and it's like, no,
probably
I can't do that.
Probably like a rubber sole. On a shoe.
Yes.
No, seriously.
Let's sprinkle that with a little arugula.
I used to go out, and my father used to make me run around out in the orange groves in Orange County and pick up, all the dandelion greens, as we called them, and I'd come, I'd have a big, huge, 2 or 3, bags full of this stuff, and they'd cook it down like spinach. But it had to be you had to pick it at the right time.
See, that sounds good.
Because it was sweet and it was very good.
There's some onions in it, some garlic,
right, but
sauteed in some butter.
If you picked it at the wrong time when it started to go to flour, forget it.
Yeah. Did you ever do that thing where it's like, do you like butter?
No.
What's
look at me.
Do I sniff? Do I look?
Those of you that are watching on MYSY or ANNXX.com, you know what? You just saw something that was probably a little strange, but those of you that are listening, you didn't see it.
Okay, yeah. What I did was I just motioned like I was going to rub something on her, but you take the dandelion head, the flour, and then you ask me, do you like butter? And then you write, because it makes a yellow streak, and you go, yep, you do. And it's like people always wrote on each other with dandelions over in Wisconsin.
That would be in Wisconsin, because in California,
No.
Kids don't pack flowers.
Did you do that? Mama had a baby and her head popped off. You flick the dandelion head off.
That's kind of morbid. I like it.
But they do. Mama had a baby in her head.
This is about the paranormal.
And then you just flip the thing. You can snap them really far with your thumb.
Right.
Did not know that.
Or you can let the flowers go. The seedlings with all the parachutes go on.
I know, and that's fun too. Okay, so dandelions.
You don't want to eat dandelions in that condition.
Yeah, dandelions they're all around.
So we'll be back with the gardening show.
Exactly. So, how many minutes do we have, Paul?
About 30 seconds, actually.
30 seconds. Okay, when we come back, we're going to hear. I want you to give a brief summary of the books that you have out and what's coming out next.
They have words.
And then we're going to be having Kareen on. So everybody, stay tuned for the dirt. Welcome back, Heather.
No, thank you, Marie. I missed you.
I missed you too.
Oh,
it's a love fest.
I'm hugging you too.
Now put your hands up. California girls, man. I really wish you all could be California girls.
Are you ready to buy or sell your home, land, or investment property? Call Lori Schulz with American Home Realty at 916-960-9600. Short sales, investments, first-time home buyers, please give me a call. Lori Schulz, 916-960-9600.
Come on down to Full Spectrum Inc. in Rockland, right off Highway 80 at 4225 Rockland Road. Sober and drug-free environment, 25 years of combined experience, along with a full spectrum of available colors, give their artists the cutting edge with custom or online designs. Call Mario Davis, artist and owner, and say you heard our ad on The Dirt and receive 20% off, or take advantage of the tap-out special. For $400, get all the ink you can take till you tap out. Call Full Spectrum Inc. at 916-259-1828.
Hensminger Law Offices is now able to handle your short sale at no charge to you, and all related legal advice is included for free. Call us at 434-0220, that's 434-0220, or see us online at 888bankruptcy.com.
Hi everybody, you're listening to The Dirt, and I'm so excited again. This is a welcome back party with
They got my song playing.
And Paul Preston, and we're going to have a really fun show today. I'm super excited.
She's driving me with treats.
I know. She always brought me treats, and so I had welcome back treats for her.
And I forgot mine, so it's perfect.
Exactly. So anyway, I wanted to have you tell everybody about your it's a trilogy.
Trilogy. Yes.
I'm all triology. It's a trilogy.
Isn't that a class at college?
Yeah, maybe. But anyway, and the 2 books that are already out, and then the one that you're currently writing?
Done. It's been submitted to the publishing company.
All right. Tell everybody the names of the books. And also we want to remind the callers that actually she's going to be giving out anybody who calls in with a question, should we say for Corinne?
Sure.
Okay, anybody who wants to call in for a question for Corinne, once we have her on the air, you can win a free book. She'll email it to you.
Yep.
So go for it.
Yes, so the demon side. Dun, dun, dun.
The demon side trilogy.
I'm getting the movie music in my head because I see it happening soon.
Exactly.
Ooh, we got Corinne on the phone, so I better hurry.
But we're going to go with this.
Well, she's more interesting than me. No.
Both are. Come on now, we're not having a competition.
Buy a book, Corinne, while you wait.
Okay, your book.
So the demon side is centers around a demon who's been banished from hell to earth. And he has a girl move in with him who can see and hear demons, and it kind of flips his world upside down.
Yeah.
And then the angel side follows their relationship into the next phase, where he actually gives up what he is to try and be with her again. Mm-hmm. And so it kind of like, I don't want to give everything away.
No, you can't. You can't.
And there's so much that happens, and it was like the third one. Everybody's going to be blown away what happens with the third one. So you have to read the first and the second one, because the third one is just like
phenomenal. And I'm halfway through she knows why my book reading is broken up.
Yes.
But I'm halfway through it, and I've started it back up, and I always say, I'm a, what is it? Not the demon, I'm the archetype.
Yes, she's an archetype.
Yeah, I love your books. Love. And when you say what's going on, what's funny, every time you say that, I always think, what's going on in here? Because you're so creative, and I love it.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. I'm so excited for you. And these books, I mean, if you have, first of all, as an adult, I love it. My daughter's she's going to read your trilogy as well.
Oh, awesome.
I know. Josie's like this big reader, and she wants to be a writer when she grows up and everything. So she is going to love this. She reads every single book of every single series everywhere. It's like, she's awesome. So anyway, we got to start, more of the teens need to read this. But, I mean, adults. I had so much fun reading it. It's amazing.
The funny thing is it was written for adults, but because of the lack of sex and the lack of vulgarity, it got deemed a young adult.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like weird. It was like, whoa, I didn't see me as a young adult kind of person. I mean, come on, listen to me. Do I seem young adult? No.
I'm going to have to say no for that.
So just those people that are scared by the young adult title of genre of the book, don't be. It is kind of geared more towards an older audience, more like
it is,
16
because the
and up.
creativity and the ideas behind it it's detailed, and there's enough twists and turns to keep anybody completely, intrigued by these books and interested, and you don't want to put it down when you start reading it. None of them. I was like bugging her. I was like, my show, why can't I have the second book before I totally bribed her.
It is a funny for the KMYC listeners. Gunner read the human side in one afternoon. He called me up. He goes, I couldn't put it down. So now you can sit back with that thought of what does Gunner look like when he reads a young adult book. I imagine the candles with the bubble bath. And,
I imagine really thick glasses.
That's a bad fantasy.
Really thick glasses with a hat turned backwards and a big light.
No. It went all feminine, like, I'm reading the human
this is what he really looks like. He has someone reading for him.
Yeah.
He's all kicked back in the bubble bath, and his kids are reading to him.
Smoot's like, once upon a time.
High five. That was awesome. All right, everybody, we have
Corinne.
Well, first of all, Corinne's on the phone with us.
Yes.
But get your demon side book.
Yes.
If anybody calls in, you can get a free one today if you have a question. Otherwise, go for it. And you can find her links on the Dirt page, on her page.
Facebook, Twitter, MySpace.
Everything. And I have mine. Mine is in that, what is it, that, on the computer. You can buy the hardcover, right? Or is it just only...
Currently, it's only available in ebook, but here by June.
You're going to have all three once you get that.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so we have Corinne Martin on the phone with us. Corinne, are you there?
I am here.
Hi. How are you?
Hi. Good. How are you?
Good. I recognize your voice because I listen to all of your shows.
I listen to a few of them. They're good.
Yes, really good. And so I just want to say welcome to the Dirt.
Welcome. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So where are you calling us from?
Currently, I'm actually in Salem, Massachusetts, but I live in Andover, Massachusetts.
Dun, dun, dun.
Awesome. And what time is it there for everybody?
I'm sorry?
What time is it there? 8:30 or?
It is 8:23.
Awesome. All right. Well, I just want to have you introduce yourself to our listeners. I mean, I have been posting, as you could see. So anybody who follows on Facebook, follows The Dirt on Facebook, they're kind of, up to speed with who you are. But, I mean, for the people who are just tuning in on the radio, do you want to introduce yourself a little bit?
Sure. My name is Corinne Martin. I'm from Massachusetts. I travel the Northeast doing intuitive readings. There's a little bit of mediumship. I'm a licensed psychic medium out of Salem, Massachusetts. I do readings at 2 different shops there, parties for one of the shops, and full readings and Skype readings and paranormal investigations and kind of, you name it. I have my hand in a lot of different areas of the esoteric and metaphysical. Okay,
and this is a paranormal-based show, and so, of course, I'm going to have interest in what you're doing because, I mean, it's completely associated. I mean, like you were saying in one of your messages to me, you like to bridge the gap between the physical and the unseen. Do you want to, enlighten everybody about that statement a little bit?
Absolutely. I've kind of picked up on a lot of those creepy type things and a lot of the unseen and more of the ethereal energy and spirits for a long time. I honestly didn't embrace my mediumship until just about 2.5 years ago. It used to scare me beyond anything. I would hide under covers and pretend things weren't there. And then I started to feel the fear and do it anyways. And I kind of grabbed that fear by the horns and started honing my mediumship and took advanced mediumship courses and started doing mediumship readings for people. And then I began to gain an interest in bridging the gap between that unseen and things that they do on paranormal investigations. And I was thinking, if I could take my mental mediumship skills and use my mental mediumship to tell a spirit what it needs to do to react and make one of the pieces of technological equipment react, I wonder if that would work. Let me get my hands on some stuff. And I had gotten my hands on some equipment, and you can see some of the stuff taking place that I was doing on the little clip from National Geographic Channel because I was on Bid and Destroy this past October. So I kind of used K2 meters, and we had other pieces of equipment that we would use in order to get spirits to react. And there's a ton of videos that I have on YouTube because then I started thinking it was really fun. And call me crazy, but I walk around with a K2 meter in my purse. And because you never know where you're going to go, where you're going to meet spirit. And I realized sometimes if I kept it in with my ghost hunting bag and my reading bag, if I was somewhere and I didn't have it, I wanted to play. So I ended up carrying it with me, and I bring it everywhere I go, and if I pick up on something, I'll take a video of it and then upload it onto YouTube and usually ask the spirit to come close and then back away so that we can get essentially a baseline and go back down to essentially one light just activating that it's on, and then get them to come back and show that they can get it to 5 lights on demand and then back away on demand, come back on demand, and it's kind of fun for me.
Well, when we come back, we're going to be going to a break here just in a few seconds, and when we come back, I just want to kind of dive a little bit deeper into that, so everybody stay tuned. We're going to have Corinne back on in just a few minutes, and thank you for giving us a little bit about yourself, and we're just going to dig deep into what's going on with you in your life and how you've developed your mediumship, okay?
Awesome.
All right, thank you. Everybody stay tuned for The Dirt.
Hey, are you looking for a place to hang out or watch a big game? Come on down to Bar 101 in Old Town Roseville on the corner of Main and Lincoln Street. We have 21 beers and a full bar serving great specialty cocktails. Try our wide selection of American fusion cuisine, served every day for lunch and dinner. With 7 HD TVs, fresh food, and a friendly atmosphere, Bar 101 is the place to be. Visit our website at Bar 101 Roseville or like us on Facebook by searching Bar 101 Roseville. Come on down to Full Spectrum Ink in Rockland, right off Highway 80 at 4225 Rockland Road. Sober and drug-free environment, 25 years of combined experience, along with a full spectrum of available colors, give their artists the cutting edge with custom or online designs. Call Mario Davis, artist and owner, and say you heard our ad on The Dirt and receive 20% off. Take advantage Staff out. Call Full Spectrum Ink at 916-259-1828.
KMYC's Right Talk Radio Weekend continues with The Dirt. Your host, Lori Schulz.
Wow! Call Lori now at 530-742-5555 or use our toll-free number at 877-211-4525.
Peace up, A-Town. Yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah. Hush, hush, hush.
Hi everybody, you're listening to The Dirt and we are all loving this song. Everybody, we're going to break out into like a club dancing scene in here.
This is my son's favorite song. We dance to this in the living room. He gets all jiggy with it. He's been teaching me how to like,
Aww, that's so cute. So anyway, but before we went to our break, we have Corinne Martin on the phone with us. She's a medium from the Salem area.
Dun, dun, dun.
And so you were just basically telling us how you like to go into investigations and you were using some of the equipment and kind of showing the spirits how to operate it in order to get responses, right?
Yes.
All right. And so, okay, are you a part of an investigative team or do you just join in on random teams?
There were 2 investigative groups that I was a part of, and everybody kind of has their own style, and I realized that for me, I just kind of like wandering on my own, and I don't necessarily need like the big team per se. So I've been doing a lot of kind of investigations, private things. Clients will call me and have me come into their home, and you know, I have a few pieces of equipment that I use, and I have a couple of friends that I call in to come in with me. So I'm not working as part of any type of professional team as of right now. I'm always interested. I just haven't found my perfect fit yet.
All right. Well, I was just kind of curious. Now, when you were kind of giving us a little bit of background on you, you were saying that you basically just started utilizing your gift or practicing it only 2 years ago. So did you feel it, though, your whole life, or when was it that you started to feel that gift?
When I was 4 years old, I remember clearly communicating with an American and getting up. I had this man who, it was almost like his heart just flew the back hard, and it's like he didn't even pay attention to anything going on around him. He didn't care about me, but he really scared me. I didn't understand any of it. And I had a lot of deaths early on in my life. I buried 3 people that I lived with by the time I was 11. So by 11, that was when my dad passed away. Before that, it was my uncle at 7, or my grandfather at 7, my uncle at 9 years old, and then when I was 11. So after I buried half of my life, I started to kind of curious about, you know, afterlife, and, you know, I've heard about heaven, but I know that, like, me as far as like they go away and don't come back. I've seen people doing things and I didn't quite understand. And I remember when I was young, I was told it's just your imagination. It's not real. Yeah. So I remember that when I was a kid saying, well, why am I taking on these things? It's my imagination. And I remember kind of reaching out and be like, I don't want to get this anymore. I don't want this anymore. And it was almost like a higher level spirit that had come in at that time and said, are you sure you know what you're doing? Are you sure you want to shut this off? And I was like, I don't want it. So I kind of shut down for a while. But then after my dad passed away, I couldn't really hide it anymore or shut it down because he was a shadow man that stood in the doorway of my bedroom every night for about 3 years.
Really? And he doesn't do that anymore?
No. It took him about 17 years to completely clear, and that was a couple of years ago. So it took him quite a while. And my mom used to hear him walk up the stairs down the hall. We had an incident where my brother finally had processed my dad's death about 8 months after he passed, and a light flipped on that same night. And it was real stuff. You know, if you're in a room, sometimes if you close your eyes, you can tell when somebody else walks in a room or when they're sitting next to you.
You can feel the energy.
Yes, and that's what it is. You can feel their ether. You can feel their spirit. And I was hiding under my covers with a flashlight throughout a lot of my teen years. I was a big old free cat. And I was getting so creeped out because the hairs on the back of my neck would stand up, and I'd feel somebody come on top of, like, over my covers, like, almost face-to-face with me. And I know that they're right on the other side, but there's nobody there.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, I'm reaching out, and I'm like, God, whatever's out there, can you please give me a sign that my dad's here? Dad, are you here? And I was waiting for a wall to bang or a light to flash, but for some reason, I did not connect that being in my doorway with being my dad, even though it was a shadow cutout version of him.
And I wonder why he stayed around so long. And if it was your dad and it was scaring you, I wonder why he would still continue. You know what I mean?
Probably just waiting for the day that she would look at him and go, oh, that is my dad.
Maybe.
I think that he was trying to give the response that I was seeking and let me know that he was there. And he knew that we had buried, his dad and his brother before that. Mm-hmm. So it was a house that he had always lived in. It was the house he grew up in. And, we ended up moving in there when my grandmother had moved out. We lived there concurrently for a while, and then she moved out. We took over the whole house. But anyways, so when he passed, it kind of made sense that that was just where he stayed.
Okay.
It was his house, and that's where his wife and his kids and his roots, and that's where everything that he had known was.
Yeah. That does make sense. And I was going to ask you, too, now, when you said you started to develop your gift, how did you do that? Like, how did you develop it? And I noticed also you mentioned that you do train people. Do you want to tell us a little bit first how you went through developing your gift and then how you help others develop theirs?
Sure. I started developing it, I remember in my mid-teen years, about 15 years or old or so, I started to get interested in the psychic aspect of it. I was always interested in psychic abilities and ESP and telepathy and, all of that type of stuff, completely separate from the mediumship. The mediumship I just kind of put on the side. So when I was 15, that's when I got my first deck of tarot cards, and then my second deck, I played with Zener cards and was doing back-to-back telepathy inside of salt circles when I was 15 years old, not knowing what the heck I was doing, but it just felt right and it felt natural. And I continued from there and just collected books and crystals and pendulums and dowsing rods and anything I could get my hands on, and was doing automatic writing. And then when my mom passed away when I was 20, that's when I took the spiritual side of it a step further. I was in a deep depression. They had me on antidepressants and anxiety medications, and I was just a mess. Mm-hmm. And it's because I hadn't processed through a lot of stuff. So the spiritual aspect of it kicked in, which kind of allowed to bolster my confidence in myself by uniting with my soul's voice. So I worked on that throughout a lot of my 20s and went through some more tumultuous things with divorce and abuse and stuff like that. And then about 2 years ago, I took it kind of more professional. Mm-hmm. And I started helping people on a grander scale and, charging for my readings and reaching out and helping people. And now what I do is a lot of private sessions for intuition development and psychic training and teaching people how to hone their own mediumship skills, teaching people about free will and personal space and, gritting and cleansing and anything that they could want to learn about. If I have the skills, I am free to teach it. I don't hold anything to my chest with it and keep it private, and there's no special gift that I have that nobody else is capable of. We're all capable of the same thing.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's just a matter of honing it, like you're learning to tie a shoe or ride a bike.
Okay, I was curious, and if you don't mind me asking, were you raised in a religious home, or where you went to church or anything like that? I mean, I'm sorry if that's out of line for you.
Oh, that's fine.
Okay.
My dad was raised Catholic, and my mom raised us Protestant. So we would go to church on Sundays, and I did the whole Bible school thing. I wasn't super into...
I'm so sorry, Corinne. When we come back, we're going to pay our bills right now for a few minutes, and when we come back, I want to get back into the religious aspect of it just for a few. Okay. All right, thank you so much. Everybody stay tuned for The Dirt. We'll be back with Corinne.
You're listening to The Dirt with Lori Schulz.
Are you ready to buy or sell your home, land, or investment property? Call Lori Schulz with American Home Realty at 916-960-9600. Short sales, investments, first-time home buyers, please give me a call. Lori Schulz, 916-960-9600.
Are you looking for a place with a friendly atmosphere where you can relax, enjoy a great pub-style meal, a delicious handmade burger, or perhaps authentic Mexican street tacos, or delicious fish tacos, all at an affordable price? A place where you can go sing karaoke, or listen to a great live band, or perhaps dance to top DJ music? Look no further. Jillian's Bar and Grill, located in the heart of historic downtown Lincoln, holds the key to all your food and entertainment desires. Jillian's Bar and Grill is proud to offer a full menu of great pub-style food and a full bar. They have entertainment 5 nights per week, Wednesday through Sunday. Come visit Jillian's today at 605 G Street on the corner of 6th and G Street in Lincoln, or find us on Facebook by searching Jillian's Bar and Grill. That's DILLIANS, Jillian's Bar and Grill. Call 916-434-8171 for the entertainment calendar. That's Jillian's Bar and Grill.
Now, back to The Dirt. Here's Lori Schulz.
Everybody, you're listening to The Dirt, and we've got such a creative little producer in the back there. Behind the glass, Paul Preston.
I'm running down the hallway right now, breathing hard.
He's so scared. He's supposed to step on that scares him. He's such a little wild man.
Doesn't scare you.
No.
This is what my house sounds like on a Saturday night.
Yeah.
Later tonight.
You know what, Corinne? Before we get back to talking to the religious aspect, we actually have a caller for you.
Okay.
Paul Dale Roberts, are you on the air with us?
Yes. Hello, Lori, Heaven, and Paul.
Hey, hi. How are you, honey?
Hey, I heard you have a cool guest from Salem, Massachusetts.
Yes, she's on the air with us. Can you hear him, and can you guys hear each other okay?
Yes.
Well, I don't know. Can you hear him?
We'll be talking a little bit.
You can just hear him a little bit. Okay.
We have a phone issue
and
there.
so I just want to say, Paul, you're a winner of what, Heaven?
You're the winner of a copy of my book. I think you already have the demon side, so I'll let you have the human side.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we said anybody who calls in. So did you have a question or anything you'd like to say to Corinne?
Yeah, is she going to talk about the Salem witch trials? Because I'm so fascinated with that.
You have to ask her.
Could you hear that, Corinne?
Yep, I'm talking about the Salem witch trials. The Salem witch trials, I know that it was in the late 1600s. I'm not sure of the year. I want to say it's 1692, but I might be butchering that. And basically there were a bunch of women that were accused of being witches, and there was a mass hysteria, and a bunch of them were put to death by hanging, and I believe that one was crushed. There's still a lot of activity in Salem, Massachusetts. I do readings right on Essex Street, which is right in downtown, in the thick of it all, and it's where the old burial ground is, just to the side of that. And there's a lot of activity still to be found in Salem. I know that there's videos that I've posted on YouTube right on Essex Street, running into one of the women that was kind of hanging around there, and it's such a history-enriched area. Salem's great beyond the witch trials. It was a major port into the United States from China for many years. there's a lot of old ship history here. Most of the houses, when you drive through Salem, a lot of them are from the 1600s to 1700s. One of the newer houses in Salem might be from the 1800s, and you see a couple of the more modern buildings, but Salem's still very much stuck 100-plus years ago as far as...
What's the general vibe you get from the city? I mean, is it a lot of angry spirits about what happened to them? Is there a lot of content ones? Like, oh yeah, I hung her, what? You know, I mean, what's the general vibe? If I go and visit Salem, like, do I need to keep a crucifix with me and some garlic? Or
No, it depends on where you go. I know that there are some places that I go and I walk by a specific house and the hairs on the back of my neck stand up and I get goosebumps everywhere and I'm just going, okay, I don't like it. What's about that? Okay. You know, but I think that that's kind of everywhere. Right. Salem has this free spirit about it in that kind of like anything and everything goes as far as psychic abilities and witchcraft and things like that. I don't really get into the witchcraft side of it. That's not really my thing. I'm aware of it. I'm familiar with some of the stuff, but that's just not where I choose to invest my energy. But you can see that everywhere you go. There's tons of different shops. There's tons of tourist stuff in Salem. One of my big disclaimers is if anybody who is listening comes to Salem, Massachusetts around Halloween, please use common sense and look both ways before crossing the street.
Yeah.
Because we have issues with people literally crossing the street while looking behind them, and I'm trying to get into the city to work, and I'm slamming on my brakes. But
they're looking behind themselves.
Yeah, that's really
funny. And then they'll find themselves on the other side, coming back, connecting with my K2.
So, do you feel living in such an area that has such a strong and deep-seated history that people such as yourself, like psychics and mediums, are more accepted there now, or is there still that stigma in that area that comes with the unknown and the paranormal?
Yeah.
Nope, Salem, Massachusetts has completely embraced any of that stuff.
That's great.
That's awesome.
In order to do readings in Salem, you do need a license, and they need every piece of information.
Well, that was one of my questions here about the licensing. How do they decide that you can be licensed? I mean, what requirements does that entail? I mean, how do you prove it? You're like,
is it like you have to go to DMV and take a written psychic test and then a driving psychic test? Or
agree in that?
I needed to fill out a Corey check and basically prove that I am who I am and I don't have a criminal record and I haven't been arrested for fraud and all of that stuff. So there's that side of it. But then in order to get your license through a store, you need to have a store owner basically submit it on your behalf.
Okay.
And you have to go before the licensing board, and they ask you, you know, what you do and where you've read, and they want to know 10 years living history, 10 years work history, 10 years everything. And, you know, I was almost nervous that I wouldn't get my license because they were asking for so much. Not that there's any issue with anything, but they're just so strict with it.
What's your blood type, DNA? What's your father's favorite food?
No, really.
Twinkies or Ho-Hos?
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, I think it's good to put some validity.
Yeah.
Because I think in a place like that that's filled with so many tourists, like you were saying, I think a lot of people would maybe want to take advantage of that. And I think there's a good reason behind having a license like that.
I was thinking about moving there for a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can get into trouble by doing readings in Salem without having a license. And so I made sure that, you know, I was licensed under the shop that I work on, which is right on Essex Street. And you know, so they make sure that they want to know, like, what your skills are and what you're going to be doing. And, you know, they call it a fortune-telling license, but it's basically what you need. So it does give validity and credit to it because they do research, because they do analytics on my website. And I could tell that they were scoping me out and trying to figure out if I was legit. And
we can tell you're about to pay an arm and a leg for this license.
Caldell Roberts, did you have any other questions involving, like, you know, Salem and the witches or anything like that you'd like to ask her? I mean, you're still on here listening, and I just wanted to make sure you know, got to ask her everything that you wanted to.
Well, you know, I'm getting ready for an investigation, but I want to say one thing. It's such a tragic episode in human history on what happened at the Salem witch trials, and I can imagine that you would feel a lot of negative energy in a place like that, because when I went to the bridge over River Kwai, and I went to the Tower of London where they tortured people, you can feel that depression in the air.
Yeah.
You can cut it with a knife. And it's just a real tragedy that so many innocent people died and being accused of witches. And thank God we're not like that anymore.
I know.
Aren't we? Don't we still have issues like that today? I mean, just look at the gun thing. The gun thing is a witch hunt now.
Right. There are still issues, but it's nice to see that one thing isn't like that anymore as far as that goes.
Yeah.
But Paul...
I know that over at Gallows Hill, which is where they say that a lot of the hangings had taken place, I've gone to Gallows Hill, and I don't pick up on very much from Gallows Hill, and I kind of was standing there with a question mark over my head, like, but I thought a bunch of people were hanged here. Why can't I pick up on any of their energies?
Right.
And I dug a little deeper, and it shows that the actual location of Gallows Hill is assumed. And they kind of lost track of the location between the end of the 1600s and through the 1700s, and I think that it was a mayor or a governor sometime in the 1800s that had basically said, oh, Gallows Hill, that's over here, and then they called it Gallows Hill. I know that for me, over at Mack Park, which is another area in Salem, I get a lot of activity there, and I've always felt like there's almost...
We're about to go to another break. And so I don't mean to cut you off with that, but I just want to make sure that you don't get cut off from that. And I also want to thank Paul Dale Roberts very much for calling in, and I hope you have a great investigation tonight, honey.
Hey, thank you so much, and thank you for the human side.
You are welcome.
Yeah, and thank you for calling in. You know, I love it when you call in. It's a special treat. So everybody stay tuned, and we'll be talking with Corinne Martin in just a little bit. And Paul, have a great investigation tonight.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
We love you.
In the pouring calm. See the light come.
Are you ready to buy or sell your home, land, or investment property? Call Lori Schulz with American Home Realty at 916-960-9600. Short sales, investments, first-time home buyers, please give me a call. Lori Schulz, 916-960-9600.
Come on down to Full Spectrum Ink in Rockland, right off Highway 80 at 4225 Rockland Road. Sober and drug-free environment, 25 years of combined experience, along with a full spectrum of available colors, give their artists the cutting edge with custom or online designs. Call Mario Davis, artist and owner, and say you've heard our ad on The Dirt and receive 20% off. Or take advantage of the tap-out special. For $400, get all the ink you can take till you tap out. Call Full Spectrum Ink at 916-259-1828.
Hello, Northern California. I'm Bob Day, and I'm back with the best in intellectual entertainment. It's the Great American Story and more with me, Bob Day, every Saturday night from 7 to 9 p.m. right here on AM 1410 KMYC. That's the Great American Story with me, Bob Day, Saturday night, 7 to 9 p.m. on AM 1410 KMYC.
Now, back to The Dirt. Here's Lori Schulz.
Hi, everybody. You're listening to The Dirt, and we just had a caller who won one of Heaven's...
He got the human side because I know he already has the demon side.
That's awesome, and that's the one that won the award.
Yes, for Best Young Adult Book of the Year.
Yeah, so thank you so much, Paul Dale Roberts, for calling in, and of course, The Dirt loves him.
Absolutely.
We love him. We love everything he does. He's such a good man.
I am going to try and scare him on the Bigfoot hunt, though. I heard he was going, and I'm going to try and get him. I'm going to have my husband take his shirt off and start running at him.
Oh, you're hilarious.
He looks like a Bigfoot.
Your husband?
He wears a sweater under his shirt.
And Paul Dale Roberts is a very important man in the world.
I love it when Paul
Sacramento Disco King of 1978.
I know,
right.
Paul Preston always points that out, and I love that
he's very important.
Those Pauls, they're all important, because so is Paul. So are you.
Well, thank you.
Yeah,
but I'm not changing my name to Paul.
No.
That would just be weird.
That would be just
Paula.
No. That reminds me of Paula Pound
Not that there's anything wrong with Paula's. No, I'm just saying you're not a Paula.
No, I'm not a Paula.
All right.
No, you're not.
Okay.
I'm a Heaven.
Corinne, we are so excited to have you on the air with us on The Dirt tonight. And we've been having a lot of fun finding out so much. I mean, you've given us history on the Salem witches and the Childs and everything going on there. And before we actually had our call from Paul, you were kind of telling us about how you had to get licensed, and that was very interesting and everything else. And I just basically wanted to know what you do for your, do you have a different kind of job, or are you a full-time medium?
This is what I do full-time. I had my hands in a couple of different baskets in the past few years, but 2013 is the year where I'm really taking it full force, and this is my primary source of income, my primary passion.
That's awesome.
And I'm kind of branching off and going into a few different directions with it. Ideally, I'd like to publish a book by the end of the year, have some more media opportunities, and increase my reach of people that I can help.
Okay, so right now, your main source is working at that one, the place right in Salem, at one of the, what is it?
Shops.
One of the shops? Is that what it would be called?
Well, my intuitive reading business is where it all falls under. I had a couple of almost like what they call like muggles jobs outside of intuitive and psychic sense before this. But this year is the year that I really took it full force. So I do readings in the shop in Salem. I do readings for another business, Salem Psychic Center, out of Pickering Wharf in Salem. I also do readings anywhere in the Northeast. So I was just in Connecticut earlier today doing readings. I was in Massachusetts last night. I'm in New York a couple of months.
And you got your $25 tip. I saw that.
Yeah.
Good work.
Yes, that was exciting. It's always exciting when... Huh?
That is exciting. You know, when somebody appreciates what you're doing for them and that they realize that, you're sincere and you're truly helping them. I mean, I think that's great.
I find that the tips that I get when they're really the decent tips, it's usually from the people who walked in skeptical. And those are my favorite people to read, whether it's at a private house party or in the shop in Salem with people coming in and just getting a psychic reading in Salem, because that's what you do when you're in Salem, when you're tourists, traveling. But I love when I have a skeptical person sitting in front of me and I can essentially not convince them, but let them know beyond belief that this is real and this is true, and I'm not a hack, and I'm not a phony, and I'm not a fake, and I'm here to help. And if you come in for a reading with me and you're expecting me to tell you what you want to hear, you're not going to hear that. You're going to hear what you need to hear, and it's probably what you don't want me to know.
Right, exactly.
So I have a question. You do parties and things like that, and I was reading on your website that you don't necessarily need to be face-to-face with somebody. You can do a reading, over Skype or over the phone and stuff like that. Do you feel that sometimes meeting face-to-face with people changes your energy, which changes the reading? Or
actually, it's kind of interesting. Over the phone readings are sometimes the most fun, especially when I'm bridging the gap with mediumship connections and helping them on the psychic side. And the reason for that is their body language, their facial expressions, their ring finger, their clothing, that doesn't have anything to do with the reading. We've taken the entire physical side of it out. So I'm not paying attention to the look on your face. I'm not paying attention to your body language. That stuff doesn't matter in my readings. I'm paying attention to the energy of the situation. And everything is energy. And energy is, time and space is irrelevant on that side. With the whole quantum physics, everything is happening all at once and at the same time. And I always say, nothing is ever hidden in the mind of the divine. So it's through collective consciousness that I can really ground center protect myself, lift up my own vibrational levels while rooting myself here to be able to obtain those energies needed to connect through the crown chakra and through the third eye chakra right with their energies to figure out what the core of the issue is or the person that they're looking to connect with. I need solid connections through
What is your favorite? What's your... Okay, we only have 30 seconds, but name your favorite. We're going to do a little cliffhanger here. Name your favorite way to utilize your gift, and when we come back, I want you to, indulge us in that.
Absolutely. My favorite way is to be able to help people release heavy burdens and backpacks and things that they've been hanging around for 10, 20, 30, 50 years. If I can help release that for them and leave them feeling free and clear and happy and ready to fly, then I've done my job as a light worker.
Awesome. Okay, well, we're going to be going to a break right now. When we come back, we'll be talking with Corinne Martin, and this has just been a ton of fun.
Yes.
All right, everybody stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
Hey, are you looking for a place to hang out or watch a big game? Come on down to Bar 101 in Old Town Roseville on the corner of Main and Lincoln Street. We have 21 beers and a full bar serving great specialty cocktails. Try our wide selection of American fusion cuisine, served every day for lunch and dinner. With 7 HD TVs, fresh food, and a friendly atmosphere, Bar 101 is the place to be. Visit our website at Bar 101 Roseville or like us on Facebook by searching Bar 101 Roseville. Schulz and the Dirt will return following the news and messages from our sponsors.
The very best in news and sports talk all day and all night, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Talk Radio 1410, KMYC, Marysville. With a man holding a 5-year-old boy in an underground bunker. Police believe suspect Jimmy Lee Dykes shot and killed a school bus driver Tuesday and then grabbed the child from the bus.
Everybody was just upset, and law enforcement was racing to the scene. SWAT teams were racing to the scene to try to get a handle on the situation. But everybody was just scared.
Eyewitness and internet reporter Ricky Stokes in Midland City, Alabama. More details about Friday's suicide bomb attack on the U.S. Embassy in Ankara, Turkey, killing one guard and injuring others. The blast happening at a gatehouse.
Inside that gatehouse was a body scanner, an x-ray machine to check your bags. And it was at the point when he was about to pass through those machines that he detonated his explosive.
Global radio news reporter Jasper Mortimer. Vice President Joe Biden in Germany sending a message to Iran.
It takes two to have bilateral talks, and Vice President Joe Biden says the U.S. is trying to get Iran to the table.
There is still time, there is still space for diplomacy, backed by pressure, to succeed. The ball is in the government of Iran's court.
One military analyst is doubtful that Iran will want talks about its nuclear program now.
They haven't been in the previous 4 years of the Obama administration, the previous 8 years of the Bush administration, and the previous 8 years of the Clinton administration. So I do not think they are serious about negotiating.
Retired Air Force General Tom McInerney there. He says the U.S., along with other nations, should use covert operations to thwart Iran's nuclear development. In Washington, Molly Henneberg, Fox News Radio.
And police in Turkey reportedly questioning 11 people in connection with the death of a New York City woman she went missing while vacationing alone in Istanbul. And you're listening to Fox News Radio, fair and balanced.
There's more to Fox News Radio than meets the ear. Go behind the headlines and join the conversation on the hottest stories of the day on the Fox News Radio Facebook page. Be a part of the Fox News Radio Facebook fan community. Post comment and tell us your opinions. See behind-the-scenes photos and videos and post your reactions to the stories that matter to you. Click the like button on Facebook and connect with breaking news and features like Fox in the Fast Lane, House Call for Help, and more. Go to facebook.com/Fox News Radio.
Weeknights, We're busting out a brand new lineup. First, market fraud, government abuse, corruption. At 5, nothing's off limits on money with Melissa Francis. Then, from bloated bank fees to consumer scams. At 6, Jerry's exposing the issues impacting your wallet. Plus, get smart market insight and trusted analysis you won't find anywhere else. At 7, Lou Dobbs is all business. And the first and last name in business, Cavuto, shedding light on the biggest stories making headlines at 8. Only on the Fox Business Network, giving you the power to prosper.
Thank you, Tina. On the eve of Super Bowl 47 in New Orleans, a new class of NFL Hall of Famers.
Former Vikings wide receiver Chris Carter was moved to tears when he learned he made the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
I'm sorry, but this is the happiest day of my life.
On his 6th try, Carter was one of 7 men voted into the Hall of Fame today. So was an original member of the Ravens, offensive lineman Jonathan Ogden. He'll be watching tomorrow as former teammate Ray Lewis plays his last game.
We both came in '96, started the Ravens together, and kind of a full circle weekend here.
Ogden on the NFL Network. Also in, former coach Bill Parcells, ex-Cowboys offensive lineman Larry Allen, and 3 former defensive stars, Warren Sapp of the Buccaneers, Curly Culp of the Chiefs, and Dave Robinson of the Packers. Covering Super Bowl 47 in New Orleans, Ron Flatter, Fox News Radio.
More details about what happened on board an Alaska Airlines flight this past Thursday when the pilot passed out and flew from Los Angeles to Seattle.
There were no doctors on the plane, but then they called for nurses or EMT people, and finally a couple went forward, and we didn't know who it was. We just saw somebody on the floor at the front of the plane.
Passenger Larry Walkmeyer, the co-pilot, immediately taking over, landing the plane in Portland, Oregon. The pilot's a 27-year veteran, may have been suffering from the flu or a stomach bug. And a very famous groundhog makes his yearly prediction.
It was a frigid February morning, but Punxsutawney Phil failed to see his shadow, and legend has it that means
an early spring for you and me.
A crowd of thousands gathered at Gobbler's Knob in Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania, and waited for the critter to climb out of his burrow.
Unbelievable, and Phil is always accurate.
The annual prognostication made even more famous by actor Bill Murray in the movie Groundhog Day.
Freezing their butts off waiting to worship a rat.
New York's groundhog, known as Staten Island Chuck, also predicting an early spring. Pam Puso, Fox News Radio.
And the White House releasing a photo backing President Obama's claim that he is a skeet shooter. Paul Stevens, Fox News Radio. KMYC's Right Talk Radio Weekend continues with The Dirt. Your host, Lori Schulz.
Wow! You're listening to the station that's been owned and operated by your friends and neighbors for over 72 years. The Big 14. 5 in a row. Come on, baby, let's boogie. Number 1 then, and number 1 in local talk now.
You're listening to The Good Life with me, Mike the Wine Guy.
This is Paul Preston, and you're listening to Inside Education.
Hey, this is Live with Lou, broadcasting high atop Mount Hood.
KMYC, 1410 AM, Marysville, Yuba City.
Stay tuned for The Dirt with Lori Schulz on the Right Talk Radio, KMYC 1410 AM. Call Lori now at 530-742-5555 or use our toll-free number at 877-211-4525.
Now, back to The Dirt. Here's Lori Schulz.
Hi, everybody. You're listening to The Dirt, and we have the pleasure of having Corinne Martin on the phone with us. We're interviewing her, and it's been a lot of fun. She's over in the Salem area in Massachusetts. And I also want to say welcome back to heaven.
Thank you. Missed you guys. Paul, Lori.
Oh, I love her, and I love Paul. We have such a great team here on Team Dirt.
Team Dirt, there's nothing like it.
Yeah, that's right. We've got some great T-shirts that are going to be coming out, and so any of you listeners out there, the Dirt Heads, we've got some great T-shirts you guys are going to be able to buy. They're awesome. And we're going to be giving out some The Dirt shirts on the show, and that's the only way you're going to be able to get them. And those are going to be the little call-in prizes.
She's making me wash her car for one.
There's nothing
That's
like
how hard
a dirt shirt.
Yes, a dirt shirt.
Yep. And so anyway, it's going to be a lot of fun. And we also have Zach from the Zach and Brian Show, who's actually a part of Team Dirt.
Yes.
Welcome aboard.
He's our dirt man.
He is dirt guy.
Yes, dirt guy.
Yep, dirt guy.
Yes.
So anyway, we've got Corinne Martin on the phone with us, and so she was telling us her favorite way to use her gift, and it was to help release the burden that maybe has been like hurting people over the years or different things like that. And I can't imagine some of the ways that some people carry around some negativity or guilt or different things like that. And so one of your favorite ways to utilize your gift is to ease people's pain and to help them move on and let go of those things, the past?
It's to help them in any way that they may need it. It might be letting go of things from the past. It might be answering a question from somebody that's passed on.
Right.
It might be they never got the chance to say goodbye, and now their loved one came through with validation that they're there, and they can feel like they've made that closure.
Right.
It's just my intention is to help. So there's a variety of different ways that comes to be, and that's my focus.
And I wanted everybody to know, too, anybody who's listening right now, you can do readings via Skype. I mean, you do remote readings, which I thought was interesting. So some people who are listening, they might be like, wow, well, she's way over there. How could I possibly ever, you know, use her or, utilize your gift? But there are possibilities. Do you want to explain some of the possibilities and some of the ways you've helped people from long distances?
Sure. I have clients in California, Arizona, Texas, Florida, New York. So when I'm home in Massachusetts, I can't usually do a face-to-face live reading, so I have over the phone. I can do energy work, and a lot of times I'll figure out where in their body there's almost like a clog with a clogged chakra, and it usually relates to something that has happened in their life at the psychological stage of development when that chakra was developing. It might be something that's weighing on their mind or a question that they have, or it might be me telling them to be careful of a certain person and give them a trigger item. I was doing kind of an over-the-phone reading with one of my friends who lives in Texas, and I told her, be careful and watch out for the girl with the pink wallet. Whoever the girl with the pink wallet is, she's the one that's stealing from you. And about 30 seconds later, her friend with a pink wallet walked through the door with the wallet in her hand.
Oh, wow. And those are things that people, and that was somebody who was from a distance, right?
Yeah, yep, I wasn't there, and my friend had even said that she felt like I almost had a video camera on her, and there was no way that I could know that she hadn't shared any details of their friendship. She hadn't shared with me that her friend had already stolen from her. She didn't share that she had a pink wallet.
Wow.
So she was kind of creeped out that I was able to so clearly see that, and I can't help what comes through. Sometimes things come through more clearly than others. Nobody's perfect. I have on days. I have days where I might not be as on as I am other days. But almost all of my readings, there's something validated and leaves them coming back for more.
And that's awesome. So coming back for more, so in other words, you do have some regulars or some customers that see you on a regular basis that, like your guidance?
Yep, it's for a variety of different things. It might be for developing their own intuitive and mediumship abilities. It might be that I gave them, because what I do is almost like give them not quite homework in their readings, but hey, you want to work through this? This is the way to do it. And they'll come back when they're ready. I say, like, when you're ready for another slice of pizza, when you're ready for more, come back. And I'll have people that come back when they're ready. And I have people that they come back and it's like I'm almost apprehensive to read them again because it's been a short period of time and they haven't done the work that needs to be done.
Right. So now when you were saying before that you started to develop your skills, with your gift, and you were saying that you help others to develop theirs, and let's see, what was it? You were doing something else, but how much do you charge? Is there a difference between like just getting a reading and actually starting somebody on some lessons?
I have, right now I just have a street fee of $25, $50, $75, $100 for 15, 30 an hour and 90 minutes.
Okay.
And I just kind of keep it a flat fee because I'm not going to start discerning and differentiating between different things because I feel that all of the services are of almost equal value. So I don't put more, I don't say, well, oh, people really want to connect with somebody who's passed, so I'm going to charge more for that. That's not my thing. Mm-hmm. And I'm not going to say, oh, well, I hold my intuitive abilities to a high regard, so I'm going to charge more to teach you what I know. I'm not looking to monopolize and capitalize on that type of thing. I really, it is income for me, but my pay and my benefit and my fulfillment is in genuinely helping.
Okay, what is one of the biggest moments since in the last 2 years when you started working on this? Has there been something that's been like even eye-opening for you that has happened, like in reading someone else?
I've had different things in reading other people. I've had, interesting spirits pop in and really learned even more about my mediumship in my readings with somebody that popped in. We decided but there was a man that came in one of my readings, and he was kind of dirty and scary looking. Mm-hmm. And my client that's sitting in front of me, he was right next to her face, and she's grabbing at her cheek and looking all freaked out. And I'm sitting there, and I'm like, what's going on? Because I'm seeing him right next to her. And it ended up being her mom's boyfriend that had died in the 1980s. He just left and never came home one day. And I had said, your mom's still hanging on to all of his stuff. And he used to drink Jack and Coke. This is the glass he drank out of. He drank Budweiser out of a can, and it was a pull tab. He smoked Marlboro cigarettes and put them out in a black ashtray and, gave the detailed validation to say, hey, tell your mom that this is what he said and that he's passed away. He's not coming back. But one of the times that in the past couple of years that really hit me and made me have the whole do-do-do-do moment for myself is I've always had a very strong tie to the Cape Ann area in Massachusetts and Gloucester specifically. And I had very strong ties there, and I know that my family has some history there from many years ago, but nobody lives there anymore. They're mostly passed. So I remember I was driving down the street with my partner, and I look out the window, and I'm like, oh, what is that building? Oh, it feels like a mental institution. And I ended up looking it up online, and sure as anything, back in the 1940s and 30s, that was a mental institution. Wow. And it just had the residual energy of it. So they ended up converting it into a hospital. And then I had this image in my life for 20 years, from the time I was a kid until just not even 2 summers ago. And it was very specific. It was in the early 1950s. I could tell by the style of clothes, the music. It was pop or jazz swing-type music. And there was the diner tables with the metal edging on it. And there was a woman with brown hair, and she's tall and she's thin, and she's feeling lonely and lost. And she's sitting at a kitchen table, and she gets up, and she goes over to the stove, and she turns on the burners, blows them out, and then goes back and sits down. And fell asleep, fell on the floor, and her body was found by an unanswered knock by a man at the door wearing brown. And I couldn't understand why this was coming in my head so strong over and over and over again. And I remember asking my mom, and my mom was, I don't know. And I remember telling my friends, and I remember telling, my ex-husband and everybody, I don't know what this is. And people just looked at me and thought that, I don't know, maybe I was crazy. Until
guess what? We have to do a cliffhanger on that. So when we come back, we're going to find out what happened with the end of that vision or dream you were always having. All right, so everybody stay tuned for The Dirt, and we'll be right back. Are you ready to buy or sell your home, land, or investment property? Call Lori Schulz with American Home Realty at 916-960-9600. Short sales, investments, first-time home buyers, please give me a call. Lori Schulz, 916-960-9600. American Home Realty is turning houses into homes even in this distressed real estate market. If you have any questions regarding short sales, foreclosure options, or home buying in our local area, call the Wheatland office. Tammy Holland-Davis and Deb Hartline are real estate experts here to help. Call today for an appointment at 530-633-2440. The office is located at 111 D Street in Wheatland off Highway 65. Again, that number is 530-633-2440.
Hey, are you looking for a place to hang out or watch a big game? Come on down to Bar 101 in Old Town Roseville on the corner of Main and Lincoln Street. We have 21 beers and a full bar serving great specialty cocktails. Try our wide selection of American fusion cuisine, served every day for lunch and dinner. With 7 HD TVs, fresh food, and a friendly atmosphere, Bar 101 is the place to be. Visit our website at Bar 101 Roseville or like us on Facebook by searching Bar 101 Roseville.
Hi, everybody. You're listening to The Dirt, and before we took off for a little break, we were
so rudely interrupted by commercials.
Yeah. We were, creating a little cliffhanger with a vision. Would you call it, or a dream? What was it that you were having?
It was a vision. It wasn't coming in a dream in my sleeping time. It was coming in my waking time, and it was like I was almost drifting off and hearing the music and seeing the woman, and clearly it was a suicide, so it was disturbing. And I remember asking everybody, and they had no idea what or anything. Nobody had any answers. And then one day, I was sitting there thinking, and I remember hearing that my Nana, my mom's mother's mother, had died when my Nana was very young. And I never asked any more questions. It was kind of like you don't talk about it. It was just like not a secret, but you just don't talk about it. Mm-hmm. And I remember after the vision and everything, I was starting to put the numbers together, and I was like intuitively saying, well, what's going on with this? And I kept feeling like it was almost her mother. So I found my courage, felt the fear, and did it anyways, and called up my grandmother, and I said, Nana, I remember that your mom died when you were young, but nobody's ever really talked about it. How did it happen? It was a suicide. I found out, and I said, how did it happen? But first, let me tell you. And I gave her the whole story because I hadn't told her. Mm-hmm. And she had said, do you believe in reincarnation? Because what I was picking up on was so clearly accurate. She said, it's so funny that you ask. It's such a strange time. I haven't pulled my mother's death notice in almost 50 years. She said, I just pulled her death notice 3 days ago. I have it right here. Let me read it to you. And it was suicide by gas inhalation in a third-floor apartment building in Gloucester, Massachusetts. Oh, wow. So there was an address. And I remember writing down the address, and I had said to my partner, I have an address of this house where my great-grandmother apparently killed herself. And she had said, well, where are we going? Let's go. So on our way there, I said, I just want to make sure that I'm explaining to you in as clear detail what I see with this house. It's a light-colored house. There's windows in the front. There's wooden stairs on the right-hand side of the building. It goes wooden stairs. It's at least a second floor because the stairs go all the way up. There's no stop-off on a second floor to make me think it's above that. I said, but I know it said third floor. I said, but it's in the back right-hand side of the building, and I believe that the stairs lead into the kitchen. And we pulled up to the house, and I'm looking at it, and there was a piece of me that was giddy and excited that I was so accurate, but there was a piece of me that was so creeped out because I was so accurate.
That's really funny. But
I remember
that.
Yeah.
So I remember looking at the house and being like, okay, well, that was exactly what I described. And when I had described the woman to my grandmother had said, you've never seen a picture of my mother. And I said, no, now that you mention it, I don't think I ever have. She goes, no, I'm telling you. You have never seen a picture of my mother. None of my 3 children ever saw a picture of my mother. There's one picture of her. She burned the rest of them before she died. And she ended up showing me a picture. And my description of her was perfect for her description. And it was another moment of kind of creeped out, but then it gets a step further. Because when I had looked at the hospital that we had driven by, that used to be the mental institution, that one that I had referred to before the story, right. I was telling my grandmother how my partner said, oh, you need to get a new gig. Oh, I think this is going to happen. Hey, guess what just happened? Hey, have you heard from so-and-so? Oh, guess who just called? And she said, you need to get a new game. And, almost not, like, kind of in a joking way. It's getting old. You need a new game. You got to ramp it up a notch. So I was telling my grandmother that in the same conversation, and she had asked, where is it? And I had said, well, Addison Gilbert Hospital in Gloucester. And she goes, well, don't you know? And I said, don't I know what? And she goes, I was born at that hospital, and so was your mother. after it was a mental institution, they turned it into a regular hospital.
Wow. Okay.
So
that's kind of creepy.
I got a new game for you. Guess what?
That's kind of creepy.
Wow. Yeah. Okay, so one question that came to my mind while you were talking about it was, do any of the other family members you have your gift? I mean, I know you said everybody can, do this, but I mean, do they naturally, where they haven't had to develop it, have the same gift as you?
Or
yep, I know that. I think that everybody has like a natural ability to it, but some people they're almost more predisposed to it.
Right.
And I know that growing up, like my mom had a few premonitions and things that my grandmother had ended up telling me, and visions of an illness that my mom had. She had cancer when she was a teenager, and I guess that before that even happened, she told her mother that she saw herself in a hospital bed in a hospital for a long time and lost her hair and stuff like that. And then I remember when I was still dating my ex-husband before we had even had kids and got engaged, my mom, I'd woken up one day and my mom was so excited and she was saying, I can't wait for you to get married, and I dreamed about your wedding last night, and when are you having kids? And I was like 19 years old, and I was 2 months into dating my boyfriend, and I'm like, I have no ring yet. I'm not planning on getting married yet. Like, what do you mean,
Mom,
baby?
he hasn't even gotten to second base. What the heck?
Yeah. So I'm kind of. Oh,
well,
Mom, whoa. Yeah, no comment.
You know me too well.
She's on no comment.
So I kind of was like, whoa. And she was describing my wedding dress, and then she had passed away before I even got engaged. And then one day I was standing there in my wedding dress at the bridal shop, and I looked in the mirror, and I had a moment where I realized that the dress that I was wearing was the dress that my mom had described to me when she was still alive.
Well, at least she still got to see it, if you think about it.
Yeah.
So it's not really. She already saw the wedding, so she.
And she sees
like,
it now.
I'm not missing much. Watch your sister though. She's gonna deck his ex-girlfriend.
So she used to pick up on some stuff, and I know that my brother's a mechanic, and he says that sometimes when he's trying to figure out a job at work, or when there's other mechanics that are trying to figure out a problem with a car, and they might be working on it and they can't figure it out through the computer system and everything, my brother will get an image in his head of what the problem is and just go over it and take something apart and put it back together and, figure out what the problem was. I know that my Nana has had some gut feelings about things as well, but a lot of my family it scares people. It scares people. So they turn it down and shut it off.
So when you're saying that some people shut it off or it scares them, now, do you feel that most of the people in your life, and obviously once you go through this, you just kind of eliminate the people who don't have faith in you, and we only have a minute, so I'll kind of ask this question. We'll look for the answer when we come back from the break, but do you feel like most of your family and friends support your gift? Do you have any, obviously you can't change who your family is, I mean, do you have people who don't support that? Or do you have your family and friends coming to you for guidance all the time and asking you questions, and you're like, I think you should just live your life.
I hope you charge them if
they do. Yeah. So we've got about 30 seconds. So if you want to give us just a kind of a brief yes or no, and if it's a yes, we want to hear more about it when we get back.
Sure, it's yes and no. I have, I guess yes for all of them. Yes, I have people in my life that support it. Yes, I have people in my life that come to me. Yes, I have people in my life that don't believe it and that still are skeptical. I have people in my life that have straight out told me that they think that I'm doing it to play off of people's emotions. And I kind of look at them and say, do you even know me?
Right. So when we come back, I'm going to ask you a few more questions just like that and hear a little bit more about that.
Sure.
We're going to go to our break, and we'll be back with Corinne Martin, and this has been a lot of fun. Stay tuned for The Dirt.
Hi, this is Mike Rayford, also known as Mike the Wine Guy, inviting you to listen in every Sunday from 3 to 5 for interesting, fun, and informative talk on food, wine, travel, and lifestyles. From interviews with winemakers, chefs, and restaurant owners to local business owners, and most of all, you. It's a call-in talk show. So call me with your cooking tips or family outings or the latest wine you've enjoyed. You can also catch a show streaming live on mysytv.com and check out the archives too. That's every Sunday, Mike the Wine Guy, 3 to 5 on KMYC AM 1410.
Hey, are you looking for a place to hang out or watch a big game? Come on down to Bar 101 in Old Town Roseville on the corner of Main and Lincoln Street. We have 21 beers and a full bar serving great specialty cocktails. Try our wide selection of American fusion cuisine, served every day for lunch and dinner. With 7 HD TVs, fresh food, and a friendly atmosphere, Bar 101 is the place to be. Visit our website at Bar 101 Roseville or like us on Facebook by searching Bar 101 Roseville.
Hi, I'm Lori Schulz, your Saturday night host for The Dirt. Join me from 5 to 7 p.m. and explore the paranormal in our series called Beyond the Dark, right here on KMYC 1410 AM.
Come on down to Full Spectrum Inc. in Rockland, right off Highway 80 at 4225 Rockland Road. Sober and drug-free environment, 25 years of combined experience, along with a full spectrum of available colors, give their artists the cutting edge with custom or online designs. Call Mario Davis, artist and owner, and say you've heard our ad on The Dirt and receive 20% off. Or take advantage of the Tap Out special. For $400, get all the ink you can take till you tap out. Call Full Spectrum Inc. at 916-259-1828. Call Lori now at 530-742-5555 or use our toll-free number at 877-211-4525.
Now, back to The Dirt. Here's Lori Schulz.
Hi, everybody. You're listening to The Dirt, and we were just talking with Corinne Martin. She is a medium over in the Salem, Massachusetts area, and just so everybody knows, you can utilize her. Even though she's so far away, she's clearly across the country.
Yes,
she does
and she's
remote
easy to
readings.
find online.
She's intelligent, smart. We've
Great
been having
website.
a lot of fun with her, and she really knows how to express everything of it. We were just talking about that on our break. We're like,
I love that
we're
last
like
30 seconds.
She
turned into the micro machine guy, like, and here we go.
It was awesome,
And did you catch your breath over the break?
Yeah, I think
okay,
that
good, because we got more questions for you, honey. Keep them
I
coming.
think that the speed talker is the Boston girl in me.
Yeah, well, California girls are the same way. And so I wanted to say we've got about 11 minutes. And
we can do this.
There's a couple things. So first, back to the family friends. Okay, you just got done saying yes and no on that. And do you have people who want to take advantage of your gifts and not pay you?
Yes, I have, that was more of Tad. I kind of cut the vampires and the leeches out of my life, the ones that, were really quick to suck off of me, but really slow to give anything in return. And I'm not even talking about financial compensation.
Lori says you can't pick your family. I don't believe that, because I have fired and hired plenty of family members. I got 3 brothers that I don't share any blood relation with. I just adopted them. They are my brothers, But I have other family members that are like, I don't know you. I pushed you out of my womb. I still don't know you.
True. Yeah, so I do have some people in my life that, whether it be family or friends or whatever, that they're skeptical and they're not necessarily believers, and people are afraid of things that they don't understand. And especially when they're afraid that I'm going to be picking up on things that they don't want me to pick up on, they're quick to shut it down and start being critical of me, when really it doesn't even have anything to do with me, and it's their own stuff that they're afraid that I'm going to find out.
And that's an interesting aspect, and it wasn't on my list of questions, but I mean, I am sure that you pick up on things occasionally, and I'm going to guess, because I can tell the quality person you are, that typically you just don't even mention what you're picking up on unless they ask, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not the style of almost like Long Island medium where I'll go up to somebody and start talking to them about something. Everybody has their own style, and if that works for one person, then by all means, go ahead. It's just not my thing. I'm really very aware of my karma and very aware of free will, so I will not walk up to somebody and just say something to them.
I think that's good.
Yeah, so she won't be like, hey, you're Abe Lincoln in your past life.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep, they need to be sitting in a session with me for me to essentially come forward. There might be a time, I know that there was a time I was riding with a few friends just about a month ago, and one of my friends had said, oh, I'm working for this guy, and I had said, you might want to watch out for him. He's taken advantage of women before in a very serious way. And the three people in the car knew him, and I didn't. And they all looked at each other like they had seen a ghost, and they're like, what makes you say that? And apparently there was a backstory that validated that. So she ended up not working for him after that day. So sometimes I might get a piece of information to help. There's been times that I've actually called my brother and said, hey, what are you up to? Mom came to me last night. And mom wants to know about XYZ, and it's something very specific.
So mom,
and she says if you keep doing that, you're gonna go blind.
yeah. And it was like it was just like serious stuff. And so I ended up he had said, well, how do you know that? Who told you that? And I said, well, Mom did. So I know that I've made a believer, not that I had to feel like I needed to make anybody a believer, but I've made believers out of certain people. Or if I'll call up my Nana and say, are you feeling okay? Mom kind of came to me and said I should reach out to you today. She's like, that's so weird. I was just thinking about your mom 20 minutes ago. And I'm like, yeah, she came to me.
So okay, your take on past lives.
I was going to ask about that too.
What's your take on past lives? We only have a few minutes, so I just want a quick take on that.
Taking a deep breath and go.
Ready? You mentioned about your great grandma.
She's going to go. Ready?
Okay.
1, 2, 3, go.
Energy cannot be created nor destroyed. Energy only changes in, through, and out of form. When we enter into this lifetime and we're in our current incarnation sack of skin, so-called, it's because we have certain things that we like or certain things that we don't like or certain interests or certain phobias. That usually stems from somewhere. And in some of my readings, I had one last night actually where the woman had agoraphobia and she couldn't leave her house. And I said, well, let's grab the cord of that and follow it back. And I ended up tracing it back beyond this lifetime into a past lifetime and was able to kind of make sense of some things that happened in this lifetime based on what I pulled from a previous life. So we have lessons that we need to learn on a soul-based level, and we go through our lifetime either learning the lessons or not. The key to it is listening to our intuition, listening to our conscience, our soul's voice, which will feel like a parent, a teacher, or a person in a position of authority. That is here to help us grow. So we do have past lives, we do have future lives, and according to quantum physics, everything is happening all at the same time. 10 years ago, 50 million years ago, and 50 million years from now is all happening concurrently. And it can be a little bit of a challenging thing to wrap your rational brain around, but they're understanding it more so now. So we do have past lives, we do have future lives, and we're here to make evolution until we actually get it right.
See, I think you need to add the medium minute under your repertoire, where you explain everything on YouTube in under a minute, because you can talk fast and clearly.
I agree.
That was quick and concise and clear, though.
Yeah.
The medium minute with, yeah.
And, okay, what's your take on 4-leaf clovers?
Ooh.
I found my 40th 4-leaf clover this September. I had found my 10th 4-leaf clover actually on Mother's Day at my mom's grave. And at the same second that I found one at my mom's grave, my daughter did too. And my daughter, I kind of work with manifestation and intention setting and creation. So I set the intention, okay, you know what, I found 10 4-leaf clovers. Why can't I find 20? Why can't I find 50? And I ended up setting a goal for myself to manifest and create and find 4-leaf clovers everywhere. And I taught my daughter how to do it. I taught my son how to do it. So my daughter's found 26 4-leaf clovers. My son's found 3. My partner's found 1. I have a friend that found 9 of them. I had another friend I've had 3 friends find their first 4-leaf clover with me using my methods that I teach them through manifestation.
And so do you teach that technique in order for them to basically mature that technique into other types of
Yep.
Exactly. Yeah. So I mean, what else do you use that for?
I used it. I actually had created a list when I had done one of the radio shows for manifestation. So I kind of have some of the things in my memory. I've manifested the birth order of my 2 children and what they looked like. I've manifested 3 different places where I've lived. I manifested working at a specific shop, Salem Psychic Center in Salem, Mass. I stood on the sidewalk and I said, what does that shop do? And they did readings, and I didn't want to get a reading, but I wanted to do readings there. I didn't know the owner. I didn't know anybody there. I just worked my manifestation skills, kissed it up to the sky, turned around and walked away. And 1 week later from that day, the following Saturday, I was up in Raymond, New Hampshire at a psychic reading fair, which was actually something else that I had manifested. And a reader had said, I need to talk to you. Are you available to do readings during Haunted Happenings for Salem Psychic Center? And, Shalimar I had met her that day, and I've really kind of connected with her, and she's helped out a lot through different things. But the psychic reading fair was another one. I wanted to spend a full day at a holistic retreat center and not have to pay hundreds of dollars to do so. And I also wanted to partake in the psychic reading fair that I didn't have to pay for a table, that they paid me. I was called and approached to do a psychic reading fair at a holistic retreat center, and they didn't need me to pay. They were paying me.
Okay, we're going to be going to a break in about 30 seconds.
Sure.
And when we come back, I want you to tell about the National Geographic Channel investigation that you helped out in and how people can reach you. I want you to go through that. And so I just want to thank you again for being on the show. And when we come back, we're going to cover those
Get your lungs ready.
Yep. So everybody stay tuned. And we're going to be talking or ending our segment with Corinne. So stay tuned for the dirt.
You're listening to The Dirt with Lori Schulz.
Are you ready to buy or sell your home, lands, or investment property? Call Lori Schulz with American Home Realty at 916-960-9600. Short sales, investments, first-time home buyers, please give me a call. Lori Schulz, 916-960-9600. American Home Realty is turning houses into homes even in this distressed real estate market. If you have any questions regarding short sales, foreclosure options, or home buying in our local area, call the Wheatland office. Tammy Holland-David and Deb Hartline are real estate experts here to help. Call today for an appointment at 530-633-2440. The office is located at 111 D Street in Wheatland off Highway 65. Again, that number is 530-633-2440.
Now, back to The Dirt. Here's Lori Schulz.
Hi, everybody. You're listening to The Dirt, and we have had this time with Corinne fly by because she is so interesting, and we love her. And we wanted to ask you to tell us about your National Geographic investigation that you were a part of, and also let everybody know how they can get a hold of you, because we totally want people to help you grow your business.
And you help them grow.
Thank you. Reciprocal. So basically, the National Geographic thing, I was working with a paranormal team out of southern New Hampshire, and I was new to the team, and I guess that Left Field production company had reached out to them and wanted to do a paranormal investigation on one of the houses that they were working on as part of a show, Bid and Destroy. And they wanted to have some investigators go out because apparently the house was creepy, so they told National Geographic, and National Geographic said, we'll get a paranormal team in there. So he had talked to them about this medium that they were working with, me. And I guess that Left Field wasn't 100% sold on it because they were looking for a paranormal investigator, not a medium. And they had said, well, let's see the girl's paperwork. So they asked me for my bio and pictures to kind of be in New York City by 5 o'clock on Friday, and we'll hear back on Monday whether, it's going to go or not. If it does, it's for Wednesday. So I ended up hearing back on Monday, didn't get the address until Tuesday afternoon, and then on Wednesday, we started our trip up. It was about an hour and a half away, And as I was driving up, I started flashing and getting images, and okay, it's almost like there's a farm and there's a circular driveway that's all made out of gravel. They don't use the front door. The front door is closed, and it looks like it's thrown over with bushes. There's almost like a porch that's on the side of the house, and so all these specific details. So I remember with the guy that I was driving with, I had said, I need to write this down. And he had asked me what's going on, and I said, I'm flooding with information about this house. And there's a woman there, and I think her name is Nara or something like that. I can't tell what she's saying. She has no teeth, and she's trying to say her name. And I get there, and everything validated the way that the house looked. And he was kind of like, you picked all that up on the way up here. So when we had gone into the house, I was picking up on different things in different rooms, and we had the K2 meters, and I had my dowsing rods and the pendulums, and we had laser grids, and it was kind of funny because the camera crew and the producer kept apologizing because their cameras kept dying, and they had backup batteries, and their backup batteries were dead, and they had enough footage to film for the entire day, and now they're charging batteries in the van. And she was saying, I'm so sorry, and they've never seen this happen before. And spirits pull off of electrical devices in order to kind of manifest. And the woman that was in the house, she had asked me, why are these guys here? They're not here to live, and they're not guests. They're breaking windows. They're pulling things off. They're knocking things down. Why are they here? And the premise of the show, Bid to Destroy, is it got canceled, but they bid on these houses. They pull everything of value out of them and then knock them down and build them back up.
Yeah, I was going to say that show is still floating around out there. You see it every once in a while on the various, cable channels. But, when we had Mark Phillips from the Ghost Channel, or the Ghost Stories on, he talked about that phenomena where the batteries would drain from the cameras before they started shooting.
Exactly.
This is not new to us.
Yeah. I think that's interesting. And so it's interesting to me also that they didn't know that would happen.
Right.
Yeah. Like they didn't expect that.
Well,
yeah.
They don't work with paranormal. They don't normally work with paranormal stuff. They do the bid and destroy footage in the shooting of shows like American Restoration and things like that. They don't do paranormal stuff normally.
Well, were you going to a house where they were doing a bid and destroy?
Yeah, that's what it was. I was on Bid and Destroy. So I was on Bid and Destroy Haunted House Treasures. It aired in October, and it is still floating around out there.
Yeah, I've seen those. I mean, you can still see those shows out there. They're still going on. They're active.
Yep.
And the title of that particular show was what?
Haunted House Treasures.
And I actually have that posted.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, it was great. And so before we get going here with you, and first of all, Corinne, thank you very much for being here, Corinne Martin. And can you give everybody a little information how they can get a hold of you? I don't know, phone number, websites, whatever you usually use before we close out with you?
Yep, I've got it all, so I'll do it in a media minute.
Okay.
My cell phone number is 603-244-8602. My website is www.corinstar.com, and that's CORINNESTAR.com. You can find me on Facebook, Intuitive Readings with Corinne. I am on Twitter, Corinne Stargazer. I have youtube.com/Intuitive Corinne. But basically, if you go to my website, you can get links to everything else and email me from there. Check out some of the videos that I've posted. I have some EVP sessions that I've done that I've posted up on my website as well. You can listen to some of the other radio shows that I do. And
that's awesome. And if anybody listening to, actually through the show right now, they can actually find you on my Facebook page, The Dirt, also, so that they can locate you that way too. I mean, you found me. They can easily find you. There was so many things about you on there. So, I mean, they should have no problem in locating you. Thank you again, Corinne. I just want to say I hope you have a great weekend and everything like that. And it was a pleasure to have you on here.
It was awesome. Amazing.
Yes. And we hope to have you on again sometime if you don't mind.
Great. Yes, I'd love that. Thank you so much. This was fun.
Oh, thank you too. And thank you again for the time spending your Saturday night with us on The Dirt. We appreciate it.
Great. Thank you. Have a great night.
You too. Bye.
Bye.
All right, so that was a lot of fun, and
That
I just want to
was.
say thank you, Corinne Martin.
I like
being on
how
the show.
Paul's breathing added to the ambiance.
I know. We couldn't even get his attention to talk.
I know. We need a shock collar or something for him, like we can hear you.
Shock collars work.
I know, and then the times when he wants to be heard, he just, he doesn't have his microphone on.
Right?
But,
what are you wearing?
So now I think we have our
Bonnie.
Our
Bonnie
Body. Yeah,
yes.
Bonnie Body.
Jinx, she owe me a Pepsi.
Yeah, exactly. She's Team Dirt with us now, Bonnie Sorber. So, Bonnie, are you on the air with us?
I am.
Yay.
What
Hello,
amazing
everyone.
vegan recipe do you have for us today? And I say that lightly. I'm carnivore.
I have a super simple fruit smoothie recipe today. Super simple fruit.
Okay, that I can do. That can go either way. Carnivore, herbivore, omnivore. Okay,
yes,
I want to hear about
exactly.
the smoothie then, because I am a smoothie lover. Ooh.
Okay.
Oh, wait, we only have 30 seconds.
Yes.
So, you know what?
Want me to hold?
Yeah, let's just hold. So,
Yeah.
Bonnie, are you having a good night?
Yes.
How have you been? Been a while since
Good.
I've seen you.
Yeah.
Your body
And
makes
how
me
are
sick. I hate you.
What?
She's jealous that you're so
Yes.
thin and fit.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah,
thanks.
see,
That's so
you even
nice.
got Paul panting now.
He's breathing
What's
heavy.
She's like, this is not what I signed up for.
Being picked on because she looks good.
I know, right?
Really?
Yeah.
You know, there's a real stigma with being beautiful. All
All right, well, we're going to be right back with Bonnie Sorber, Bonnie Body, when we come back. Hold on for the dirt, everybody.
I had it.
American Home Realty is turning houses into homes even in this distressed real estate market. If you have any questions regarding short sales, foreclosure options, or home buying in our local area, call the Wheatland office. Tammy Holland Davis and Deb Hartline are real estate experts here to help. Call today for an appointment at 530-633-2440. The office is located at 111 D Street in Wheatland off Highway 65. Again, that number is 530-633-2440.
Are you looking for a place with a friendly atmosphere where you can relax, enjoy a great pub-style meal, a delicious handmade burger, or perhaps authentic Mexican street tacos, or delicious fish tacos, all at an affordable price? A place where you can go sing karaoke, or listen to a great live band, or perhaps dance to top DJ music? Look no further. Jillian's Bar and Grill, located in the heart of historic downtown Lincoln, holds the key to all your food and entertainment desires. Jillian's Bar and Grill is proud to offer a full menu of great pub-style food and a full bar. They have entertainment 5 nights per week, Wednesday through Sunday. Come visit Jillian's today at 605 G Street on the corner of 6th and G Street in Lincoln, or find us on Facebook by searching Jillian's Bar and Grill. That's Dillians, Jillian's Bar and Grill. Call 916-434-8171 for the entertainment calendar. That's Jillian's Bar and Grill.
Now, back to The Dirt. Here's Lori Schulz.
Listening to the dirt. You're listening to the dirt.
There we go.
You are listening to the dirt.
You are.
You are. Okay, so everybody, thank you for tuning in to mysytv.com and for listening to KMYC 1410 AM. And thank you again, Corinne Martin. Thank you, Heavenly Odine.
Thank you, Lori Schulz.
Thank you, Paul Preston. And up and coming is The Great American Story with Bob Day. We love him. Imitate him.
This is The Great American Story with your host, Bob Day.
What about that voice?
I love his
Amazing
voice. It is.
He is. He's just
It
awesome. He
is.
reminds me of...
It makes me walk funny.
Of that Sam Elliott.
Oh, totally.
Is
Totally.
Oh, yeah, Sam.
Yes.
He's a Sam Elliott guy.
He is.
Seriously, he
The
is.
rough and
Okay,
tough-
we can't make Bonnie
okay.
hold anymore.
Oh, no. I want to hear about the
She's
smoothie.
held enough.
Does
Okay, so we've got
Does she know Sam Elliott?
Yes, they do.
Well, she
We'll call this the Sam Elliott
She used to
smoothie.
date him, way back when, but,
There you go.
Okay, so anyway, our smoothie that she has tonight, she said is simple and a little bit more user-friendly for the people who just are afraid of vegan. Right, Bonnie?
Right, and it tastes good, too. This is good.
All right, tell us.
Okay, it's 2.5 cups coconut milk, 2 cups frozen fruit medley. That's what I had in the freezer today, and it's just basically frozen peaches, frozen pineapple, frozen strawberries, and mango and grapes all mixed in a bag, like already pre-done, frozen in the grocery store. So have that. So 2 cups of the frozen fruit medley, or you can do whatever kind of fruit you like. And then 2 tablespoons of organic cold milled flaxseed, and 5 pitted medjool dates with the stems removed. And then you blend it all. Whiz, whiz, whiz. All done after like 2 minutes of whizzing, blending, and it's good to go.
I'm going to go whiz me a smoothie.
I think
as long as you have a high-speed blender. Otherwise, it's like, I don't think it'll work so well. But
did you ever try those little blenders that are for making the single drinks? Has anybody ever tried those?
The motorboat blenders?
Yeah.
I have one. I use it for a lot of stuff.
Does it work good?
I love it.
Okay.
I love my little motorboat.
Me and Bonnie, we both use the Vitamix, which I totally recommend for anybody who's like, if you're going to really start, juicing or not even juicing. I guess it would be just having, the frozen drinks and all that. It's amazing.
Or even make it almond milk, which I make. I used to make it all the time, but since we've moved, we've only made it once since then. But
she used to make it all the time. Even I would get some.
Oh, she would even share.
She's the most generous person. Bonnie spoils everybody. It's awesome. I go, it's awesome.
In fact, Troy said, "Hey, it's not probably vegan. It's probably
Becky's
vegan, but I'm not sure if it's raw. But I could share maybe the brandy recipe I make, the apple brandy."
Yes, well, share
like I'm talking alcohol.
It's a Saturday night. Let's share it.
I don't have it with me right now, but I could maybe next week.
What a tease cliffhanger was that?
Next Saturday.
Yeah, next Saturday. Yeah, next Saturday, give us a healthy alcoholic beverage.
Yes.
That can go non-alcoholic or alcoholic.
Okay.
Something like that would be cool. Thank you so much for this good recipe.
And maybe a meal to go with it to soak up the alcohol.
And everybody knows.
Or maybe dessert.
Yes, there you go. Oh, brandy goes great with desserts.
Oh, yeah. Bonnie Body is what we're calling you.
Yes, your Bonnie Body.
Your Bonnie Body, because you've got this good, slim, slender, fit body. And
you're almost healthy.
Yeah, so your Bonnie Body of Team Dirt.
Yes. You're the body in the dirt.
We had to come up with something. Your Bonnie Body. So, and we were talking about the T-shirts and different things that we're going to have coming out, and so everybody who's a part of Team Dirt is going to get the Team Dirt T-shirt.
Yes.
So we'll get those out, and don't forget, Bonnie, to be posting on the Dirt your recipes every week too.
Yes.
Because a lot of people don't remember, what.
I remember the coconut milk part. She had me at coconut milk.
I know, me too.
That right there, I'm game.
I love it.
And I don't know if I could say it on air or not, but Trader Joe's has the cheapest, not cheapest isn't bad, but most inexpensive kind.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to say too about the shirts and stuff. What I was going to say is maybe we can work something out where we give away something like a shirt for some sort of recipe thing for Bonnie Body or something.
That would be awesome.
I mean, how do we do that? How do we incorporate something with that?
We do a pile of dirt and put a picture of Bonnie Body on there with the hoe and some lettuce.
I don't know about that.
We gotta do something.
I'm not sure people would agree with that necessarily.
She's the body in the dirt.
Exactly.
But then they would see that and maybe not agree.
No, it's a healthy.
She could be our vegan zombie.
That's true.
The vegan zombie.
The healthy mind, Bonnie Body, and soul.
There you go. There you go.
Wow.
Perfect.
She bleeds green.
I don't want to be associated with any sort of zombie, so.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, even the living dead need love. They're people too.
But no, she wants to. We'll give her something. We'll give her that pure. She's the pure essence. She's like the vegan thing.
Yeah, she's the I like that.
Bonnie.
Yeah, I like the mind, Bonnie, body, and soul.
Me
too.
That's
a good one.
Okay, so that's
a
good
one.
I
think
slogan
that's the
for you.
Yes.
That's quite catchy, I guess.
We love it. We love it. And a lot of times we don't you know, we just love you. So we're not going to give a whole lot of choices for such a great idea.
Right? You don't really have a choice in this matter.
We know. We all want Bonnie Body.
Yes.
That's so funny. I'll take whatever, I guess.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, everybody, thank you so much for
awesome show.
Tuning in. It's been so much fun, and thank you for the cool recipe too, Bonnie.
Yeah. Sure. I hope you guys like it. You know, it's not too sweet, and it's a lighter, like a lighter smoothie, just so you know. Like a lighter one and more refreshing, I think. And not so heavy, which is good.
Right. I agree with you. All right, Bonnie. Well, thank you so much for calling in. We always love this segment because we like cool new things.
She's going to be waiting for me outside with the Vitamix. I'm scared. Paul, will you walk me out?
It's nice to have you back, Kevin.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Well, I just want to say thank you, Bonnie. And we're going to actually close out here. Tune in next week for The Dirt.
Yes.
And coming up next, we've got Bob Day with The Great American Story. And welcome back, Kevin.
And welcome back, Lori.
Well,
welcome back to my world.
Right,
my
exactly.
world. You're back
and thank you, Paul Preston.
Yes.
Wouldn't miss it.
And everybody, look into your book.
Yes, the demon side, the human side. Which side will choose you?
Exactly. I know which side I always choose. And she says, remember that? That was funny.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not? I'm
no.
like, arcade. I want to be on arcade.
Oh,
okay,
and we're
everybody. Have a great weekend. And Super Bowl Sunday. Enjoy that.
Niners!
Yeah, go 49ers. American Home Realty is turning houses into homes even in this distressed real estate market. If you have any questions regarding short sales, foreclosure options, or home buying in our local area, call the Wheatland office. Tammy Holland-Davids and Deb Hartline are real estate experts here to help. Call today for an appointment at 530-633-2440. The office is located at 111 D Street in Wheatland off Highway 65. Again, that number is 530-633-2440.
Hello, Northern California. I'm Bob Day, and I'm back with the best in intellectual entertainment. It's the Great American Story and more with me, Bob Day, every Saturday night from 7 to 9 p.m. right here on AM 1410 KMYC. That's the Great American Story with me, Bob Day, Saturday night, 7 to 9 p.m. on AM 1410 KMYC.
Hi, I'm Lori Schulz, your Saturday night host for The Dirt. Join me from 5 to 7 p.m. and explore the paranormal in our series called Beyond the Dark, right here on KMYC 1410 AM.
This is Huth Broadcasting's Talk Radio 1410 KMYC, Marysville, Roseville, Yuba City. Yahoo Sports continues after a live update from Fox News.
Fox News Radio, I'm Steve Knight. Breaking news out of Boston. A bus carrying students back home to Bristol, Pennsylvania after they checked out Harvard for their college plans slammed into an overpass on Soldiers Field Road. More than 40 people were aboard. Authorities say 32 are hospitalized, 3 with critical injuries. Part of the mystery about a New York woman who disappeared in Turkey.